Hi there. My name is Jamelyn Ebelacker. I'm a Santa Clara potter. As far as I know, 5th generation, but it could go back further. Thinking about it, you know, Mr. Cruz, wherever he went, said it exactly, perfect, that we need to have a workshop. We need to have the tools, I guess, and the motivation to go out and bring this art, bring this tradition to the young people. And I speak to you today as a young person. I'm currently going to school at the Institute of American Indian Art. At the time, my choices were studio arts or new media. And I went with new media. New media is filmography, website building, stuff that I can use here and today in this new world. But I will never forget my pottery and where I come from. Although we never want to lose that tradition of working with the clay, working with our hands, knowing what working with clay means, it's also important to bring those skills into today, into the 21st century. I would love to see SWAIA network with the Institute, network with the colleges around Santa Fe and Albuquerque and New Mexico to come up with some sort of workshop, as Mr. Cruz mentioned, or some sort of, or even a class or a fellowship that I as a student could participate in and continue my traditions, but also learn something that's going to help me in this world today, in the world of technology. We all made it out here today, and that's a beautiful thing. I see a room full of beautiful people with beautiful thoughts and ideas, and we can make this a biannual thing. We could come together and make this a picnic, a soiree, a get-together, a powwow, if you will, and teach those skills to our young people. We don't have to be afraid to teach other people in our Pueblo, teach our friends and neighbors our skills. They're not stealing anything from us. They are helping us grow. So as a young person, again, I stress that it's of utmost importance to be able to bridge the gap between where kids are now and our traditions. I'm a very proud potter, and I will never, ever forget that. But living in the world today, I have to change, I have to evolve, I have to bring in the contemporary with the traditional. That's just what I'm going through today as a student, as a young Pueblo potter, as a Native person. So I guess I'll leave you with, let's use this tool. We've always been very good at using our tools, and SWAIA can be a very good tool for us. Let's work with them. Let's open our hearts. Let's open our minds. Let's open those ideas to coming up with something that's going to bring our students back to this tradition, our young people back to those old ways. And thank you for listening.
I'm also glad to be here with all of you today. I've been working in the traditional manner for all my life, but I'm also have a foot in the contemporary world. I use all traditional materials that we gather ourselves and work with. We do native firing and also kiln firing because I prefer a clean, crisp color on the clay of the pots itself. So depending on what I want to achieve, I use fire as a tool. So if I want to produce blackware, I'll do it the traditional firing, like the Santa Clara and San Alfonso Pueblos. If I want to produce the hopi ware without any fire clouds on it, I'll use a kiln to fire it. So it's a tool for me. If I was ever in the position for somebody to come up to me and ask or whatever, I would be more than glad to share any information that I had gathered along the way. And so that was my commitment to teaching. And so I had taught for 8 years at the Institute of American Indian Arts, and I taught traditional pottery, and I welcomed every individual that walked into that classroom and tried to teach them everything that I could. Some of my students are right here among you. There's Jody, Pam, Eric. They were all my students.